everybody, and welcome to Mayhem Tainment. I am your host, the bad guy of podcasting, JD, and this is our prediction show for AEW's Forbidden Door, and this signifies our official shift from WWE to AEW. So we will now be covering far more AEW than WWE on our shows, and our prediction shows will be about AEW, not the WWE. So thank you for tuning in. I hope you like our shift, and I hope you stick with us. Please leave a comment on who you think might win as we go through these, or leave us a comment with a question or anything for the future. Marcus Fredrickson plays us in and out of every episode of Mayhem Tainments. Check him out at reverbnation.com/Marcus Fredrickson, and check out our storefronts, bonfire.com/store/Mayhem Media Shop, and pick up some at apparel. Fortunately, Wolfman is in the car today traveling, so he does not have his Mayhem shirt on, but that's okay. We'll cut him some slack. And J-Mac, we haven't sent one to J-Mac yet, so he's not going to have one either. But go and pick one up and help support the show and the cause. That would be great. All right, guys. I'm joined by, of course, the prediction specialists, and the man who is responsible for the visuals of this show. He also does the visuals for our Marvel series, and without him, we would not have had the last Marvel episode or this prediction show right now. So, Wolfman, thank you for all your help past 2 weeks. It has been much appreciated and necessary.
My pleasure.
And of course, underneath the both of us here, we have from Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, the legend himself, J-Mac.
What up, everybody? It's me. It's that LEGEND.
The only person we're missing is Uncle Slam, everybody's favorite Uncle Slam, who wasn't able to make this episode, but that's okay. He's a busy guy, and he's got a full family, so I can completely understand that. I had my nephew this morning and last night, and I've been going nonstop since then. All right, guys. Forbidden Door, AEW. J-Mac, are you keeping up with AEW a little bit now?
I mean, well, honestly, this will be the first pay-per-view I've watched. I'm not gonna lie. I watch AEW here and there. I got a bad habit of, like, I pay for a bunch of streaming apps, and I really only watch Tubi. But but I know it's stupid. But
I do the same thing, dude. I have actually, I think I finally got rid of most of the ones that I don't use, but for like a year I had like Amazon Prime and like Netflix, and like but I was barely, like, I would watch them maybe once a month or something, right? Like I would hardly ever turn them on.
Well, see, so like me with HBO, it's like I'll sit there and I'll be watching something, it'll go off, and I'll be like, well, let's find something else to watch because I don't feel like switching streaming apps. And I'll run across AEW, it'll pop up, and I'll watch a few episodes of Dynamite or Collision or something. I'm not going to say I'm like an AEW fan or anything yet. I'm not a fan, but
yeah. You still lean a little more WWE than AEW.
I lean more independent wrestling than anything.
Ah, very good.
Nowadays.
Well, then you and Wolfman get along really well, because Wolfman does a lot of indie wrestling appearances and stuff like that. So
it's just got so much better than the mainstream.
This son bitch, Wolfman, pardon my language, everybody. This son bitch, Wolfman, he's getting recognized out there in public by people now. They're like, hey, man, you're that guy from the podcast or whatever, right? I no one. I walk down the street, people don't even look at me twice.
You're not starting off by saying I have 6,000 followers, are you?
I'm just better looking.
Oh man, what's funny is Wolfman doesn't actually come from that lineage of podcasting that we were just poking fun of, but he comes from a different lineage of podcasting that we have made fun of before. You know what I mean? Let's just say that Wolfman has always liked indie talk. He's always liked talking about independent wrestling. Am I right, Wolfman?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's an indie talk guy. We'll All right, that's enough of that. None of us know what's happening right now. They don't know why we're laughing. So let's just move on. All right, so AEW Forbidden Door. This is the Tony Khan experiment that has worked out pretty well, where he does it's like a collaborative effort with New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's also CMLL, and this year it's also Stardom. I don't know if Stardom has been a part of the past Forbidden Doors, but at least this one. And AAA has been involved in these too, but of course, now that they're under the WWE banner, we won't see AAA ever again in AEW. But that's how it started. It started as a cross-promotion event, which I think is, I think it's awesome. I love Forbidden Door. It's one of my favorite pay-per-view events because you get to see people from other companies battle people from AEW, and I think that's awesome. I like to see that stuff in wrestling once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just good for the product.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm tired of seeing companies that want to put every other company out of business. People don't understand that when, and we just went through the last 20 some odd years with it, when there's no other competition and you're the only thing that it is out there, then it's going to get stale. You're going to rest on your laurels. You're not going to give the fans the product that they want, which is, and the only way the product gets better is from competition, because somebody else doing something, makes you work harder. If there were no other podcasts in the world, it wouldn't take much for me to be a podcast. But it's because of other podcasts that I have to keep on my toes. I have to keep posting. I have to keep making videos. I have to, it's just it's a good thing to have competition. And why not bring the spotlight to other competition instead of trying to bury it and act like it doesn't exist? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that. Just because I'm not a WWE fan, you don't see me hating on them or dunking on them at every opportunity either. I'm just not a fan of the style of product, so there's no reason that it has to be hate or divisive like that. So let's get into some of these matches. It looks like Wolfman has me, and this is the other thing. I'm a big AEW fan for this reason. This has got 10 freaking matches on tonight's card. That's awesome.
See, I'm going to go
Way
out
better
on a
than
limb.
WWE.
I'm going to go on a limb and say I think that's a little too much.
No, I disagree.
But for 3 hours, I think that's a lot.
No, I don't think so.
I could do 7 to 8 matches. I could chop 2 of these matches off and be just fine.
Nah, I would disagree with that. Also, because AEW doesn't have the same kind of level like WWE, and I don't have a problem with this. It's just their style. They do a lot of production, right? I mean, look at what we watched on Mania. It took them 10 minutes to get to the ring because of how long the entranceway was, right?
Yeah, but that's modern WWE. I'm talking about, you go to classic WWE, pay-per-views from back in the day.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You've got 7 matches, and it was 3 hours long. And it wasn't overproduced like the 15 minutes of commercials we got at WrestleMania.
See, and that's why I like it. WCW was the same way. They would always, you'd see between 8 and 12 matches on a 3-hour pay-per-view. And I don't have a problem with that at all. I kind of like that. I think it's good. I think 10 being right in the middle is actually a good number to have. So now, do AEW pay-per-views run over? Yeah, sometimes. So J-Mac his advice is not completely wrong, because they do run over sometimes with their pay-per-views. So, it's not, maybe they need to try and manage the time a little better, or maybe even take a match or two off, as you said, because they do sometimes go long on their pay-per-views. And
that can be off-putting to a lot of fans who do watch, but have time constraints of, hey, I got to be in bed by 10 o'clock to go to work the next morning. And that's just, it's not a knock on them. It's just, to me, as a fan, I'm good with 7 matches. I can sit down and watch 7 matches and enjoy the day. But you start getting past that, and it's almost like, okay, when does it end?
Yeah. All right, let's get into the predictions here. I'm gonna save the main event for last. But other than that, these aren't in any type of order or anything like that. So let's go with this one: the AEW Women's Champion, the Toxic Spider Thekla, versus I can't really see that.
Starlight Kid.
Thank you. She's someone who I'm not super familiar with, so I completely forgotten her name. She's from what, CMLL, or is she from New Japan?
I'm not
I
quite
don't know.
sure.
I think I was asking Wolfman. That was Wolfman. That was the Wolfman, J-Mac, not to you.
Right.
I think CML.
That's what I think so too. Yeah. So for the AEW championship, I'm going to start with the prediction specialist. It's your show, Wolfman. So who you got on this one?
I gotta go with the Starlight Kid.
Wow, really? You think so?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. That's not what I expected you to say.
I just think the champion right now is just so full of herself. Her ego is gonna probably blow the roof off the building.
I'm so not a Thekla fan. Just so everybody's clear, all the viewers. I like Thekla, but I don't think her being the champion is right now. I think she was a bad person to pass the torch to try and have another long run after Toni Storm. Thekla's not that person. So that's interesting. Now I see for me, man, I love your bold prediction there, Wolfman. I love it. I don't know that AEW's ready to start letting their women's championship appear on other TV quite yet, under a wrestler from someone else's brand. I don't know if that happens yet. And I'm not sure Thekla's run or whatever they're doing with her has reached that point where it's time for her to lose the belt. So I'm going to choose Thekla. The only way I see it otherwise, if we see that 3-woman stable, if we see them dissolve. Because Sky Blue, I think, is going to win the Owen Hart Cup tournament. Wolfman, and I think they're going to set up Sky Blue versus Thekla for the women's championship. I think they're going to try and get that going. So I'm going to choose Thekla on that, but I love your pick, dude. I love your pick. I love that you chose a Starlight Kid. That's crazy to me. J-Mac, do you want to do one for this match?
Well, yeah, always. I'll predict anything. Hey, I don't have to know you to predict it. Who was you saying the Starlight Kid worked for too, by the way? I'm sorry.
CMLL.
Okay, I'm not seeing that. It says here that she's signed to World Wonder Ring Star, often just called Stardom Wrestling.
Oh, Stardom. She's from Stardom, not CMLL.
Okay.
She's from Stardom.
Okay,
cool. Yeah, that's the new company that they added into it this year. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know. I was just looking it up. You asked, so hey, you know.
Oh no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I forgot she was from Stardom. That's absolutely right. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know much about either one of these ladies, but I have heard the name Thekla an awful lot here lately. I don't know if that's necessarily. Again, I'm just getting into AEW over the past year, and you know, as bad as it is, independent wrestling has kind of kicked that to the curb too. But I don't know, man. I'm going to trust the prediction specialist over here, and I'm going to go with the new girl too.
Excellent.
Nice.
What is it, Starlight Kid?
Starlight
I'm going to go with her. Yeah. I'm going to go with
Starlight
her.
Kid. Excellent. I love that you two just picked them. I think those are bold predictions. I love that you just predicted that. So. And I think, for speaking from AEW's point of view, I would not have a problem. I think letting your world championship belt go to someone that's with another company is exactly what they kind of need to keep that goodwill going with all these companies they got working together. So I think that's a good pick. All right, let's go to this one. It's kind of a high-profile match, but let's make it second on the list. We have Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. Zack Sabre Jr. is not with AEW, I don't believe. He might actually be CMLL.
I'm not quite sure. I haven't really seen much of him.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing. They haven't really been hyping him too much on. He hasn't been on the AEW shows and stuff like some of the other wrestlers from the other companies, right? Like we haven't really seen him quite yet. I think he was only on one episode leading up to the pay-per-view.
Yeah, and Kenny Omega just got back from injury or something, I thought.
Yeah, he did. He's really Kenny Omega, man. I think he might be near the end. I don't know how much more he has with his injuries and his.
He's good though.
I can't remember the name of the whatever he has. He has something that makes it hard for him to take bumps and stuff too.
Zack Sabre is New Japan.
New Japan. I just tried to look it up, but it did not. It gave me a whole bunch of crap, not who he was with. So, and I could not sit there and read through it all. So I appreciate that because, I wasn't going to sit there and be like, hey, just hold on for 5 minutes while I read this whole page and try and figure out where he's from.
He's part of the mighty don't
Technical
kneel
difficulties.
stable.
Please hold.
Right.
Oh, hey, that's why there's three of us. All right. So let's go back to you again, Wolfman. You are the prediction specialist. So who do you got on this one?
I gotta go with Kenny Omega. If he's that bad in injury, I think this might be his last huzzah.
Now, but my question to you is then is just because this is his last maybe his last run for the next year or 2 years or so if he stays healthy. But does he put other people over during that time, or does he re-rise back up to the top?
I think he's going to work himself up to the top, not just like boom, automatically be the top guy.
Gotcha. I think that's a really good prediction. And for Zack Sabre Jr., I'm also going to pick Kenny Omega over Zack Sabre Jr. I want to pick Zack Sabre Jr., but only because I think with Kenny Omega, if he's really going to be closed it out, I think he's going to want to start putting the next stars over. I think he's going to want to try and give them a boost before he goes. So I think that'll be the test, Wolfman, tonight. If he wins, then I think he's going to reclaim that, go over, do that rise to the top. J-Mac, what are your thoughts? He's going to get that momentum.
This is considered one of the matches that is generating some of the most buzz on the pay-per-view. I don't know much about Zack Sabre Jr., to be honest. I do know I've watched a lot of Kenny Omega. I'm on the fence about Kenny Omega. I don't know that I'm necessarily a huge fan.
I'm not a huge fan, J-Mac, so I'm not gonna throw anything at you for not necessarily being a Kenny Omega fan.
I understand why people are a fan of Kenny Omega, but it's just not something that's ever sold to me.
Yeah.
I'm going Zack Sabre Jr.
Cool. I think that's a good pick too. Both these matches so far could really go either way because there's things happening with both, so it could really go either way. So I think those are great picks there. I like that you just picked Zack Sabre Jr. I like that we're mixing it up. We're not all going with the same one. All right, the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship, and I got to say, listen, the only thing I'm not digging about the AEW Women's Tag Division is I want to see tag teams stay together more than just, I don't want to see this. It's not like the trios. I don't want this to become the trios titles where a 3-man team or a tag team in this case wins the belts. Then when they lose the belts, they break up as a team.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. All right. We already saw it with the first champions with Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron. They split up after they lost the belts. I didn't get it. I was like, wait, why wouldn't you just go chow? What happened? What happened in all of wrestling? And J-Mac, you can weigh in on this one too. What happened in all of wrestling to the rematch clause? Why are we seeing champions lose a belt and then they just go there? Oh, I'm okay with losing that belt. Now I'm going to go after this person because I don't like him or some other kind of storyline. And we used to actually see some follow-up once in a while, at least. I'm not saying all the time. I'm saying every time a title changes hands. But when's the last time you remember someone actually getting a rematch after losing or wanting the rematch after losing? J-Mac?
It almost seems like nowadays the quote-unquote rematch clause has turned into, I lost the title, so I'm going to go home for a month or two. I'm going to go on vacation instead of worrying about a rematch anymore. It's like, it's okay. Now it's time to take some time off.
Yeah.
So I get that, completely. I don't have to see that every single time because that can sometimes be a bad way of drawing out a rivalry that just needs to end. But
once in a while,
right. For your big time, guys, doing stuff. Yeah, you need to have a rematch clause every now and then. I got to get my, just desserts or whatever. I got to give you your just desserts, whatever. But another thing you touched on was it seems like throughout all of wrestling, and I've wondered about this, is you were talking about the tag team wrestling. Well, and the match that we're talking about, what is it that every tag team has to break up?
Yeah, I agree with you.
and it's throughout wrestling, and I get it. Everybody goes in wanting to be a single superstar, and be top of the game, and this, that, and the other. But do people not realize that there were a lot of people who were big time stars in this sport, and all they ever did was tag team wrestling? I mean, they would have a singles match, but their whole repertoire and their list of accomplishments was tag team wrestling. The LOD for one.
Yep.
There was neither one of them men needed to break up and go off and try to be a single superstar. As a matter of fact, I would have thought it was kind of stupid if either one of them won a singles title. They were a team. They went into it knowing that they were going to be a team. I just think that, I think it's become too commonplace to split tag teams up just to see who you can get over as the next big thing. Why don't you just get the team over?
Yeah, I agree. Wolfman, your thought? We'll do the predictions.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on tag team wrestling, women's tag team wrestling in AEW, or just in general?
Just in general, if they have a good chemistry as a tag team, they should work with that chemistry. But if that chemistry, they say they have, also they said the one guy's like, "Oh, I don't like how you do this move, or like take this or whatever," then that doesn't work. Don't keep them as a tag team. If they don't work, you're not going to make it.
Yeah, you broke up a little bit during that. You broke up a little bit during that, Wolfman, but I agree. We heard enough of it. I agree with what you were saying about some teams don't even need to be tag teams. There's stop maybe trying to just take two random people and throw them together as a tag team. Now in AEW, I like what they do.
Like
I like that.
Danhausen.
I see. I kind of like some of what AEW does with those random tag teams, though. And I don't mind that they're like around for a few months and then they get taken apart or whatever. They're cool, especially the one I think of is Adam Cole and MJF. Dude, AEW made so much money with the double clothesline and the Better Than You Baby apparel. You know what I mean? Like it was a marketing tag team, and it wasn't going to last forever. We knew that. So I don't mind that, but I think what you're saying is right. Don't just put teams together to have a tag division. Try and find people that will make a good tag team, because that's also something else that AEW has done, is that they've just put people together to be a tag team to fill out their tag team ranks. Just like WWE did, J-Mac, right? When they made the women's titles, they made some women's tag teams that were only together for the tournament or to try and go after the belts, and then when they didn't win, they split up, or you never saw them again.
I hate to say it, but that was kind of WCW's take on it too. Was just throwing people together a lot of times to have tag team champions, or just a tag team to challenge for the titles. And I'm not a big fan of that. I want you to market them as an actual team, not just two guys that you thrown together. I want them to look, like the Street Profits do. I want them to, dress similar. I want to be able to look at the ring and go, okay, those two guys are on a team and those two guys are on a team, not four random guys
like
in four different colors. Yes. I don't like four different guys in four different colors and four different sets of tights. And now I'm just guessing who's on. I got to figure out whose corner is whose.
Yeah.
That gets frustrating.
All right, let's talk about the match. Wolfman, who do you have on this for the AEW Women's Tag Team Championship?
Not the Dominion, that's for sure.
You don't think they're retained?
No, they're full of themselves. I think their ego is going to get in the way. I got to go with the challengers. Thunder
Rosa and Olympia. Interesting. Olympia is if I'm not mistaken, is a CMLL star. We see her around every once in a while. Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think the Divine Dominion's done yet. I don't think they're done with them for whatever reason. Tony Khan seems to like these two very large Amazon women. So I don't think they're done yet. I think they're going to retain. Also, and this goes to speak to the point, I don't want to see another tag team win the belt who's not going to be a tag team after they lose the belts. And I suspect the same thing with Wolf. I believe you, Wolfman. I think the Divine Dominion will have something. I think eventually when they lose the belts, I don't know that it's going to be tonight on Forbidden Door, but when they lose the belts, yeah, I think they start feuding.
Yeah, shit's going to hit the fan.
But that just goes to the point, though, that like you stop breaking up all the tag teams. So far, if this happens, let's just say for the sake of for a moment that it does happen tonight, and Thunder Rosa and Olympia win the tag belts. We know Thunder Rosa and Olympia aren't going to be an ongoing tag team after they lose the belts. And then if Divine Dominion has a program against each other, then they're no longer a tag team. So your first 3 tag teams of your women's tag team division aren't even a tag team after they've lost the belts. 3 in a row. Yeah. So I don't think losing them. I think when the Divine Dominion loses, they have to lose to a legit tag team in AEW. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
J-Mac, what are your thoughts? Who do you think wins this one?
Honestly, I don't know enough about them, but just listening to you, I'm going to go Divine Dominion. Just because, like you said, if these 2 girls, if Thunder Rosa and Olympia aren't going to be together for much longer, then you got to give it to the team that's going to be together. You know, unless they're transitioning the titles through these 2 girls to another team, you know, which could be a possibility too. You know, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know enough about them, either one. I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to just go Divine Dominion. Stick with the champs.
That's another split decision on that. So far, none of the picks have been unanimous. All right, here we got the women's final of the Owen Hart tournament. And I'm sorry, Sky Blue's not in the finals of the Owen Hart tournament. So that kind of dismisses what I was saying about Thekla. I'm going to stick with my pick. But apparently Sky Blue's not going to be going after the title like I thought she was. I really thought she was going to make it to the end. I missed the last Dynamite or whatever. So I think I missed Sky Blue losing. So Mercedes Moné and Maya World for the Owen Hart tournament. Remember, the winner of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament gets a title shot. So Wolfman, who you got on this one?
Maya World.
Really? Boy, your predictions, man, are just. I did not expect any of these from you so far, dude. I really haven't.
I'm not a fan of Monet. I was not a fan of her in WWE. I'm not a fan of her in AEW because her character is so pompous. Like thinks she's better than everybody else.
You don't like.
So I'm like her arrogance is sickening. Like that arrogance is going to get you just as so far until you run into somebody that's going to give 2 shits about it and beat the hell out of you.
I'm going to pick. I think if you want Mercedes Moné to be a big star, I think she's got to win this to be able to get a shot at the title. She was the TBS champion. She's 9 belts. Monet. They ran that whole thing with her. Then she lost them all, so she went through her losing streak of losing all the belts and etc. So I think she has to win this. I'm going to pick Mercedes Moné because I think she has to win this in order for her to kind of. If you still want to treat Mercedes Moné as this high superstar, I don't think you can have her lose to Maya World. Also, Maya World's new on the scene. And AEW doesn't always put over the people immediately when they're new on the scene and stuff. So I'm gonna go with Mercedes Moné on that one. J-Mac?
I'm going with Mercedes Moné just because I've been in love with that woman for over 10 years.
She's also known as Sasha Banks in WWE. Just
that's how I started learning who she was.
The CEO.
But yeah.
Was the boss in the WWE, I believe.
The boss, yes. The bank statement, yes.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think that Mercedes is like the greatest women's wrestler ever. I don't think she was like 9 championships great at one time. But she obviously knows how to market herself. She obviously knows how to make herself, somebody that people want to see. So, hey, she's doing something right. And
go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, and like you said, she's lost all those belts and stuff. There's no if you're going to keep her as a legit contender to anything at any point in time, then she's got to win something substantial, worthwhile, so that way she's not an afterthought anymore. So I would say she'll probably win tonight.
That's what I think too. All right, moving right along. This is for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. This is New Japan's belt on the line, and we have Shota Umino against the Bastard Pack. Who do you got, Wolfman?
Umino.
I'm gonna pick him too, only because I don't. Although AEW's brought some IWGP championships to their home, so. And Pac needs something. You know what? I'm not going to side with you, Wolfman. I'm going to pick opposite of you on this one. I'm going to pick Pac. Because I think
you're fired.
I'm fired. That's funny. I'm going to pick Pac because I think he's kind of been lost in the Death Rider shuffle with them getting with Will Ospreay almost kind of joining them, and with the other new dude that they just got. I'm totally drawing a blank on his name.
John Moxley?
No, the new guy that they got, the young guy who everybody was freaking out about when he joined.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to blank.
Yeah, me too. But I think Pac's got a little bit lost in the Death Riders. Like, where is his place in there? I don't really know. So I think he might need this to kind of stay relevant. So I am going to pick Pac.
Okay, that's Neville, right?
Yes, Neville is Pac.
Okay, yeah, he's cut his hair, and he just does not even look the same. Even
from AEW. No, he's gone short hair now, and he's got the full beard. He got rid of all the long hair. Yeah, he did have it for a while in AEW, and then just after this most recent, when he joined the Death Riders, shortly after he joined the Death Riders, he just shaved all his hair off.
I'm gonna go champion to keep his title.
Shota Umino. Yeah.
Umino.
Yeah. And that's why I was going to pick that, because I don't know about the IWGP belt going to AEW, but with Pac, if it was anybody other than Pac, I probably would have picked Shota, but I think I don't know about that one. So we got a 3-way tag. This is not for any belts that I see, but we have it's a complete. It looks like it's a CMLL New Japan AEW showdown here. We have El Sky Team, and I do not know who they are. The Young Bucks, and then Unbound Company. I would imagine that they're is what they're called for short. So, oh man, this one is probably one of the toughest ones because I'm not really familiar with the other two teams. And the Young Bucks, I don't really know what they've been doing or what they're supposed to be doing or what they're, I don't know. They're just kind of in limbo at the moment. So, you know what? I don't know which one, but I think the Bucks lose. That's what I can say about that one. I don't know which one of the teams is necessarily going to win, but I do think the Bucks lose in this one. That's my pick. Wolfman?
Sky Team.
Sky Team. Any reason or just because?
No offense to the other teams, but I just think two luchadors make really good teams, and they're unpredictable.
I can see that. J-Mac?
I don't know much about any of these teams other than the Young Bucks, and so I'm going to go with the prediction specialist and go. I'm going with Sky Team.
I love that people are going with you when they don't know Wolfman. When they don't know who to pick, they're going to go with the prediction specialist. I love that. All right, here we go. We got the AEW World Tag Team Championship, Cage and Cope, who are the AEW Tag Team Champions, being one of the only teams that can say, other than FTR, that have held some of the WWE the titles that they have. Cage and Cope and FTR are probably the most decorated tag teams in AEW. Against the Dogs. Yep. Now, I am not a fan of. I like the Dogs, like I like their kind of style, but I don't like them. I want to boo them when they're on, not because I don't like the wrestlers, but because I actually want to buy into the story. I don't like the dogs. I want to boo the dogs. So for me, as a fan, I want Cage and Cope to win. I would like them to have a good run with the titles, so that it's not just like an honorary thing. Give them a good run. And I think the dogs have been interfering with a lot of people and putting the hurt on a lot of people. And I think their numbers up on this one. So I'm gonna pick Cage and Cope on this one. Wolfman?
Cage and Cope, of course.
J-Mac?
For those of you with the benefit of flash photography, that's just who I know. And
this is the first one, the first match where we've all picked the same. Okay, so we've been through what, 6 matches, and this is the 7th, and this is the first time we picked the same pick. That's awesome. I love when we don't always pick the same too. So. All right, the men's final of the Owen Hart tournament, and this is a match. If I had to pick a match that I am tuning in for, that I want to see, it's this one right here. This is the one that I want to see. Swerve Strickland against Will Ospreay for the finals of the Owen Hart Championship. Wolfman, I'm going to let you pick first on this one.
I gotta go with Will Ospreay.
Really? Why?
I like his charisma. Like, right. He just doesn't get, like, if you have a problem with him, he doesn't care.
And this thing he's doing with what do you think about the thing he's doing with the Death Riders?
I'm not too sure on that yet.
I know, right? I mean, Will Ospreay turning heel, joining the Death Riders, and the last Dynamite that I just saw, he was him and Swerve just faced off, and then just as they were about to come to blows, the Death Rider music hit, and they came out. And Swerve, the last thing he said to him was, yeah, Will, you have changed. And then he left the ring. But I don't know. I think we're seeing something here with the Death Riders and Will Ospreay. My pick.
I just gotta say, yeah.
Go ahead.
I just gotta say, everybody knows that I have autism, and I saw a post or a video of Will Ospreay going backstage and spending time with a fan that had severe autism and actually getting to know that person as a person, not a person with disability, but as a person.
Yeah.
I saw that. So Will Ospreay has earned my respect, so I got to back him up.
Oh yeah. I love Will Ospreay. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm a big Will Ospreay fan. The only person who I might put more than Will Ospreay would be Swerve Strickland. So I am going with Swerve Strickland because I am a huge Swerve fan, and I think he needs, just like I was saying earlier about Pac, I think Swerve Strickland needs this win to get himself back on the map. I don't think a loss to Will Ospreay will be as harmful as a loss to Swerve Strickland. So I want to see Swerve Strickland win. Whose house? J-Mac, go ahead.
So I want to start off by saying that I've, as a grandfather to 2 grandkids that have autism, this is not a disability; it's a superpower. But at the end of the day, I am going to go with Will Ospreay because I just don't think Swerve. I wish I was Trick Williams. Whoop that Trick Strickland I think he's overhyped.
I disagree.
I've always thought that he was overhyped. I feel like that's one reason why the WWE let him go, because they did see the potential in Trick Williams and not Swerve Strickland. Not saying Swerve Strickland is a bad wrestler, but I don't think he is world title picture.
I disagree.
I would put him no more than mid card, tag team division. But that, again, just from what I've watched in the WWE and of the little bit I've seen of him in AEW. Now, again, AEW did take the reins off of him a little bit, but I think that he is just a knockoff Trick Williams, to be honest with you. So Will Ospreay.
Yeah, I like Swerve Strickland. I'm a big fan of Swerve Strickland. I definitely disagree with you on that one, but again, I love how we split the pick again. So that we'll wait and see how that goes. What do I got here?
And I do think in my personal opinion, I think right now, today, in wrestling, between MJF and Will Ospreay are the two best wrestlers in the squared circle in any company.
I think I would agree with that. I'm a big Darby Allin fan too, but I understand what you mean by when you select Will Ospreay and MJF and you don't throw Darby in there. I understand why that is. So I would agree with that. MJF, I think, is the best heel in wrestling and all of wrestling right now.
Yes.
All right, let's see. What do we got here? We got 2 more matches to go. This is the Continental Championship, and then we got the main event. So, prediction specialist John Moxley against Bandito. What are you thinking about that?
I gotta back up the lunatic fringe. Moxley. That's my pick.
Elaborate, Wolfman. Tell me more. Why?
I just recently started watching AEW, and I've seen John Moxley, aka Dean Ambrose, and what he can do. And what he can do, he likes to hurt people. And Bandito looks like a cool dude, but I haven't seen very much of him lately. So, from what I've seen from Bandito on like videos and stuff, I just got to go with Moxley.
Yeah, I think so too. That's also going to be my pick. Moxley retains the Continental Championship. Although, man, Bandito, they put the Ring of Honor title on Bandito, so Tony Khan's not ahead of giving him a push or giving him something that maybe most people think he wouldn't win. And Bandito he leaned into that a little bit, being able to try and defeat people or go after people who he normally wouldn't be able to defeat, but. I just think Moxley, unless Moxley's given up the Continental title because he's ready to re-enter the World Championship, I think Moxley's going to keep the Continental belt.
Yeah.
Mac, what are your thoughts?
I am going to go down the same road that I went with Swerve Strickland. I've never been a huge Moxley fan. I think he wrestles for shock. Excuse me. I think he wrestles for shock value more than wrestling moments. Out of the Shield, I would say he was probably my favorite.
Yeah, me too.
But that's not saying very much because I've never been a huge fan of any member of the Shield. I think they were all overhyped and overblown.
I couldn't agree more. Moxley's the only one that I've actually ever liked, and I've only liked him more now that he's been in AEW and what he's been doing with the gimmick and stuff. I was not a huge Dean Ambrose fan.
See, I'm not a fan of either or. And I'll be honest, Roman Reigns, I feel like, has become the better commodity. Not necessarily the better wrestler, not necessarily because the best wrestler out of all three of them was Seth Rollins. He can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
No.
Moxley, in my opinion, he goes for shock value. Roman, he's just learning how to put the whole package together, and because he did that and they put the machine behind him, you got what you got.
Yep.
I'm going with Bandito.
I'm not a Roman fan, just by the way. I'm not a Roman Reigns fan. I don't get the whole Roman Reigns thing. He's not my tribal chief. That's all I'm going to say.
You will acknowledge him.
No, I will not. But we split this one again. So J-Mac's going to go with Bandito, and that's not a bad pick. Like I said, the only reason I think he might not win that is because Bandito is actually a champion right now too. So
if you're not a Roman Reigns guy, does that mean you're a CM Punk guy?
No, you're fired.
Who, me?
He's directing that at me because he knows how I react when he brings up CM Punk's name.
Oh, we know you're the biggest CM Punk fan.
Oh yeah, I am. I'm a huge Phil.
Off camera, he's got like CM Punk merch and everything. He just wears it and rubs it and everything. He's like, I love you, CM Punk.
Just to be clear, just in case CM Punk actually tunes into any of these episodes, I know he's a big fan of the show. It's not that I'm not a fan of CM Punk the person. But I don't get the CM Punk wrestler. I don't get it. I've never gotten it. I don't get it. And no one has ever been able to effectively explain it to me.
He's like, I love the name Larry.
I have I appreciate some of the people on Kick who are commenting. I'm not bringing your advertisement up on my screen. All right. So there we go.
So tell us more about how much you love CM Punk before we get out of here.
Absolutely not. Steel cage match. 6 on
this
6.
is one I've been looking for.
I think there's going to be another really, really great match. But
what is this, like war
yes,
games
that's
on crack?
thank you. J-Mac, this is my only problem with this match is what is this? What is this? Why is MJ? I don't know. It's to put all of these guys in a 12-man, everybody's going to kill each other kind of a match. That's what it is.
Team versus team, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand it. Why in the hell do I need 6 people on a team to prove a point?
No, I see. That's what I'm saying. They've always they do that. They've done that with some of the other I can't remember what they're called now, but the other match they do it was 7 on 7. Like I don't know.
We got hold on. The teams are Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, Kanosuke Takashita. I can't say his name.
Let me do this. Yeah. Kensuke Takeshita, Darby Allin, Briscoe, and the conglomeration, which is Rowdy Strong, Orange Cassidy, and I can't remember who the last guy is. I'm drawing a blank on
Kyle O'Reilly.
Kyle O'Reilly, thank you. And I forgot those 2 guys are the conglomeration with Orange Cassidy because Adam Cole can't stay healthy. So, because they came in with Adam Cole. And then you have Kyle Fletcher, MJF, Okada.
Andrade El
Idolo, the Jet Kevin Knight, and the new guy who I'm totally drawing a blank on his name.
Jake Doyle.
Yeah, Jake Doyle, who is the new member of the Don Callis family. And I don't understand that either. Jake Doyle looks a lot like the other member from United Empire.
I just wish somebody would get Don Callis some Fix-A-Dent.
For the gash on his head?
No. Have you not seen it like 4 or 5 times? That man's been on AEW TV talking and his dentures fall out.
Is that right? No, I can't.
I'm not even joking, man. Go look it up. It's hilarious.
I've not seen that. I've not seen that at all.
It's like, who is not getting this man some Fix-A-Dent? Let this man. It's not that expensive.
That huge gash, that scar he has on the top of his head, that came from when he was he was getting chair shots or whatever, and I don't know if he bladed himself or it was just a natural thing. But dude, that thing was a scar. It was a gnarly scar for so long. I can't believe he allowed that to actually happen to himself. Because now it's so noticeable. Like he used to have a nice, smooth, bald head, and now he's got that huge scar. I have a similar one. You can't see because of my hair. We'll save that story for another time. But yeah, I don't get it, and I don't get this whole match. The Don Callis family and MJF. I don't get it. I don't get it. The Don Callis family has enough members. They don't need MJF, so I don't really get his whole why is he here. So, Wolfman, let's start with you first on the prediction. And do you have an answer as to why this match is happening?
Just because they can and they got the money.
Fair enough. And who's your pick then?
My prediction for this, I was excited for this one because it reminds me of when they had like war games or like Hell in a Cell. It's kind of like the Royal Rumble inside that cage, but there's no way the hell you can escape.
Yeah. So how they're going to put this on is what I'm most interested in, I have to say, guys. Wolfman, go ahead. Wolfman, go ahead. You broke up a little bit while you were saying something.
I got to go with Team Briscoe.
Okay. The conglomeration, Darby Allin and Kensuke Takeshita. Takeshita is a former member of the Don Callis family and is the international champion. J-Mac, what are
I
your
just think
thoughts on it?
this JS lost.
Well, I've
What's
got
that?
so many questions.
All right.
Well, my first question is this one ring or two rings?
So I think it's only going to be one. We don't do AEW doesn't do two rings that I'm aware of unless they decided to add something. They also
Is
don't.
it
I think
is it going to be Hell in a Cell type cage, or is it going to be a normal cage where it's up against the ring?
it
You know
says
what I'm
steel
saying? To where you
cage.
can get out of the ring.
It says steel cage. At most, I'm going to assume it's a Hell in a Cell style, meaning it might encompass the outside area, but I don't believe it'll have a top.
I was going to say, because if you try to limit everybody, 12 people, to staying inside of that ring, with the traditional steel cage that's
Yeah.
up on the apron, that's going to constrict a whole lot of spots you're going to be able to have with 12 people.
Yes.
And then, so it's got to be Hell in a Cell style as far as like encompassing a little bit of the floor outside
Yep.
of the ring. If it doesn't, then I really think that they're boxing themselves in on a match like this. I
think
don't
so
know.
too. Yeah,
I'm going to have to see how it works out. But if I'm going to go with anybody, I got to go with my heart because I'm a big fan of the man. So MJF's team.
MJF's team and the Don Callis family. I think there's potential here that we see the beginning cracks of the foundation of the Don Callis family. I think this is MJF bossing all of Don Callis's guys around, and Don Callis for some reason has this loyalty to MJF, which I'm not sure about either. At this point, listen, I don't like Russian people. I don't like being one of those guys who says, I'm ready to get this. Let's get to the end so that I can know what it is, because if it's still good enough, I'm still willing to wait. But at this point, I want to see what is the Don Callis family? How long can they possibly stay together with these numbers before we get a drastic reduction in how many members of the Don Callis family there are? It has to be coming.
Yeah.
He owns half the roster is on the Don Callis family. At some point we have to reach the end. And even every time I think we're reaching something where, oh, okay, we're going to see something happen with the Don Callis family, then he gets another member like Jack Doyle. So I don't know where this is going, but as a fan, I want to see what the Don Callis family can't exist like this. And you've been seeing it with MJF. They all want a shot at the title. They all want their own shot at the title. So at some point, we have to see some more people fracture. Takeshita is one of the only people that we've seen be in the Don Callis family and then get kicked out of the Don Callis family. So I want to see where it can't just be one person getting kicked out. I want to see where it's going. That's what I want to see. And I think we might start seeing the beginning of that tonight. That's kind of what I'm excited for about this match. I think this match is going to not be a match. I think it's going to be a train wreck. I think there's going to be bodies flying everywhere. I think it's going to be more about the spots than it is about any kind of wrestling. You can't have a real wrestling match with 12 people.
And that's what I'm kind of. Yeah.
And that's the other thing I will say. I wish AEW would lay off a little bit on the blood. Again, I was talking to some indie wrestlers from Aftermath Pro. If it makes sense, then have blood. And it's a cage match, so there's going to be blood, because it doesn't make sense to get your face smashed into a cage and not open you.
You don't have to have blood to tell a good story.
No, but in a cage match, that's what I was talking to with some of the indie wrestlers, though, J-Mac, right? In a cage match, you see people getting their face smashed off the cage. Some of these guys are going to have to be bloody, or it's not. How do they not end up bloody getting their face smashed into a cage?
Made out of rubber.
So I think you're going to see some blood in this one. And in this one, I think it'll be too much blood. But I think blood is warranted in this match because it's a cage match. But I think AEW will likely put a little too much blood in it. And so that's always a concern. And this is the weird match. Is it going to be entertaining? Probably. 12 people in the ring throwing their bodies at each other. It's a car wreck with people. So it's going to be entertaining to a degree. But the main event, I don't really get it. I don't really understand why it's there. I don't understand why MJF is with the Don Callis family. And I do understand everybody else coming together against the Don Callis family, but I don't understand why they put MJF in this, except that they wanted the world champion to be involved in this pay-per-view, and they didn't know what else to do with him. So I'm gonna pick the conglomeration, Darby Allin and Takeshita. I think the Don Callis family and MJF have miscommunication. I think it's going to end up costing them the match. Whether people walk out or whatever, or they just stop working for MJF. Honestly, the Don Callis family could walk right out and leave MJF against all other 6 guys right at the end. You know what I mean? Like that could be
fun.
yeah, that could be just as possible too. So I am going to pick the conglomeration over the Don Callis family on that too. So only one match. 10 out of 10 matches, only one match did we actually all 3 of us agree on one pick. So I think this is a pretty good prediction show. I'm interested to see how it turns out. And Wolfman, I think we're going to do an episode this next week and kind of do a little recap of this just to see how accurate we were and stuff. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
All right. Well, I got to go, guys. I got to my destination.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then hop out. We're finished with the show anyway. We're going to close it out. So get out of here and we'll talk to you later.
All right. Wolfman out.
Be good, Wolfman.
J-Mac, it's just the 2 of us. We finished it up. Do you have any final thoughts or anything going into the pay-per-view?
Watch AEW Forbidden Door and always support indie wrestling. And don't forget, every Friday night, 8 p.m., YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. Come watch Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc, Wrestling Unscripted. Next week, we're going to have Sarah Sunshine. She's going to be on from, I believe she's around the Arkansas area. And then the week after that, we're going to have part 2 with Mario Mancini.
Yeah, I saw that you guys were sharing that out. That's pretty cool. He's coming back on another episode with you guys. So that's pretty cool.
Yes,
I want to reach out to him, and also Mario Mancini, if you're tuned into this, I definitely would love to have you on an episode of Mayhem Tainment as well sometime. So I will reach out to you and see if we can make that happen as well. All right. Well, thank you for tuning into our prediction show. Sorry, Wolfman had to leave just a little bit earlier, a little early, but we actually did go almost an hour. We don't usually go quite an hour when we do our prediction shows, but they're usually only about 30 or 40 minutes. So we went a little long, but that's all right too. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to the people, even if you're commenting your own channel and stuff. I don't care. Comments still create traction. So I appreciate all the comments. And make sure you tune into us. We'll keep you more posted on when we're going to be doing AEW episodes and the prediction shows. So if you see a pay-per-views coming up, look for us on Sunday afternoon to do a prediction show for that AEW pay-per-view as we transition to our AEW coverage. And of course, as J-Mac said, go check out Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc. Shout out to Uncle Slam. Sorry we missed you today, buddy. And shout out to everybody else on the Mayhem Media side. Oh, especially, I want to say this, especially to Mizpah and to our graphic artists, Mayhem's Ecto. Both are dealing with losses in their personal families right now. So I want to send my thoughts and prayers out for all of Mayhem Media. Wolfman, Connor, we're all concerned about you guys, and you've been in our prayers. So hang tough, and I'm sure we'll be speaking soon.
Sounds good.
All right, J-Mac, we're going to close it out here for J-Mac, Headlocks, Heels, and Havoc. Go check them out. I am your host, the bad guy, JD for Mayhem Media. And that's the end.